I'm still doing something that's important, equally important, and I don't have to be on that.
Yes.
But it's not like we are plugged off.
Here's to changing, the stereotypes. Here's to emotion being a center point of creativity.
And a strength, not a weakness.
Yes.
Just between the two of us, our interpretation of that design was entirely different. And that's exactly what we want.
Yeah,
We want,
that's how art is viewed.
yeah.
Welcome to Voice It with Karishma Shah.
Our next guests are two very creative people who have founded a brand together. It is a luxury, sustainable home furnishings brand known as Kyoona. Their concept, along with their name, is very unique. They wanted to take arts off the canvas and put it on your bed. And how well have they done it? We had a very detailed conversation with them to understand functionality and also utility of home furnishings, especially the things that you put on your bed. We understood so many details and intricate research that they took just to start the brand. Let's dive further and understand from both of them all the details of how they started Kyoona and what goes into creating more fun, lively, and artistic environments for ourselves. The co-founders of Kyoona are Nupur, Vaid, and Minal Kejriwal. Both the women are design-led and have so much passion for their brand, which they started from scratch. Let's understand from Nupur and Minal how they are design-led, what brings them to start Kyoona, and how they want to create a revolution in the space of home furnishings. So Nupur and Minal, firstly, thank you so much for being here doing this. It's fantastic to meet you guys today and have a conversation. I'm looking forward to hearing everything about the brand and also about your personal stories. I'm really intrigued about the name. Please tell us, let's begin from there. Please tell us the story behind naming the brand Kyoona and how it came about and what's the initial journey like.
Okay.
Do you want to take the naming?
Done. Do it.
Cool. So it actually came from the fact that, when we started thinking of what the brand is, and, it's focuses on designed bed linen and high quality bed linen together. And that's something that's not available in the market. And we were just thinking about it and we were like, why not? Why not go for a designed bed sheet? And that's how the name actually came up to be. But the spelling of it came from our parent brand, Curious, because it's spelled as KYOORIUS. Yeah. So we wanted to keep the KYOO. Yeah. And also because we do plan to take the brand global at some point. Yeah. And we still wanted it to have the Indian roots.
Yeah.
We're very made in India kind of a ethos and company. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I feel like it also kind of gives you a personal essence.
Yes.
I have a strong inclination towards brands where when there's a personal aspect to it.
Yeah.
It's not, everything doesn't have to be consumer oriented. You have to have a personal story. There has to be that personal touch into things, and that's when you can actually make it shine because you're so passionate about that.
Yeah.
Right? You guys are into sustainable luxury home decor. So, how has the journey been? What is with, I know you both are related as well.
Yeah.
So how has the journey been working together as co-founders and, with the kind of background that you have personally? Please tell us about the experience.
So I don't think it's again, like they always say, working with family can be a little tricky.
Yeah.
For us, I think we've always discussed having to do something together. And when we started this, even we were a little nervous as to how it will be, but to be honest, it's as smooth. I can't say as smooth as what it would be others because it's better. Yeah. We do have our own disagreements in the team as well, but it's sorted out very naturally. Yeah. There's no age or kind of a bossiness that happens here. Yeah. We get our own democratic votes, and it's smooth. We go back home. It's not like we're bored looking at each other and can't meet each other again after that.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic, actually.
Yeah. So we go back home and still have a lot of other things to talk about, which we don't. Yeah. We do chit chat in office as well. So it's never. There's so much to talk. Yeah. Work and otherwise that there's no time to think about any of the other negative bits that will come up in any business decision always.
Yeah.
Not negative, but just disagreements that happen.
Yeah. I think it's just mutual respect.
Yeah.
Just mutual respect for what the other's saying and is doing. And I think that really helps get through these disagreements.
Yes.
Yeah, like I get that, she has a sense for design and the network that exists, and she's managing that bit. So I understand, like, she understands what I am going to speak about. And again, we listen to each other and decide together. So there's,
Yeah.
That's fantastic, because I feel like even with women, there's a myth, right? Like, so many people will tell you this, and it's fantastic to see both of you, like, so strong, working together, having your own, vibe going on. Because we hear this thing when if you're friends and you're women and you come together, there's a very high probability that things won't work out. But over here, you're also related, so there's a higher dimension over there.
I think that way, we were very comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
Which is why we also, and we had to be honest, we had a very honest conversation with each other.
Yeah.
When we started thinking about the business, and when we started, thinking about whether this is something we want to get in together.
Yeah.
And I think just the fact that we were able to put our, reservations out to each other made it very easy for the both of us that, okay, as long as we have this open conversation, it's fine.
Yeah.
We will be able to, manage, and that our relationships never getting hampered in this process.
So when you did work together and you started a brand, I'm sure there must be a lot of challenges that you must have faced, because it's a nascent brand in every sector. And we're also looking at ecological and sustainable ways of doing things, because your personal background also just promote that.
Yeah.
So what were the basic challenges that you faced when you initially started the project?
So we started this in COVID, in the second lockdown.
Yeah.
So I think one of the first challenges that we faced was the fact that we just couldn't step out of the house to do any of our R&D.
Yeah.
So a lot of the R&D was us coordinating from different spaces again, because both of us couldn't meet either.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of, phone calls, a lot of research, just computer-based research, but which I think really greatly helped, because it helped break one of the biggest fallacies in our head. So Meenal's going to tell you about that a little bit more.
Yeah. So I think even like we said, we were in different cities at that point of time. So even when we had to do, let's say, sampling and things like that, even the manufacturer would take his time, because it's not like we could visit him, see it, touch it, feel it, and decide on the spot. So we get it down, then we do our testing, and we spoke to a lot of people. We did our testing. So the policy she's talking about is the thread count. Most people will believe, and brands would like to propagate, that the higher the thread count, the better the bed sheet. But for an Indian climate and the temperatures that we see here, making it too heavy as an 800 or 1000 thread count linen makes it really not breathable, makes it heavy. It just means that thread is so tightly woven that there's no space for air to cool the body at night in between. So that's why we realized we want to find something that's comfortable for India. Of course, we want to take it global as well. So should be able to sustain their wash cycles and their standards of fabric. So keeping both in mind, we've realized that a 400 thread count that we work with works well either ways. There are a lot of things other than thread count that matter. We realized whether it's the weave, the ply that you use, all of those matter more to the strength of the fabric than just a simple thread count number that is thrown in. So we've done the testing, we've spoken to manufacturers. It's not just about what's in the market now. Like if everybody's doing, I can probably at the same costing, coming from a business point, do the same thing with that thread count. But we want to make sure just to do it because it's in right now is not what we want to do. We want it to be comfortable. So yeah, that's where
it's fantastic that you mentioned that, and I do feel like adaptability, right? What you were kind of like garnering towards is adaptability. We get so many, even with clothing, I would love to know your opinions on this as well. Something as simple as clothing, because it's also textile, right? We always look at the West, and we're always looking at adapting their designs and adapting the way that they're using their fabrics and the count, etc., etc. However, we do forget that there are so many different things which can't be adapted to our Indian kind of a climate, Indian kind of, the simple thing of hum kaise kapde dhote hain. It just comes down to those really, really basic things. We can end up spending so much money and buy something
aesthetically beautiful, but then if there's no adaptability in that, if the people haven't done their own research and have to figure out a way of, listen, it's going to work.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic, but it's going to work and it's going to be adaptable. You're going to be able to keep reusing something like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's so nice that you guys have done your research.
We needed to, like we wanted to make a brand that's sustainable.
Yes.
And that's long term.
Yes.
And it's not ki acha theek hai, now on a whim we are doing it.
Yeah.
And now it's gone.
Yeah.
We didn't want it to be that. So I think in our case especially, COVID really helped in that sense because it pushed us. It really pushed us to do our research, like a lot of research in ensuring that we get the best product out there. Especially in terms of fabric and design, because that's what we are banking on, right?
Yeah.
That's our unique perspective. Apart from, we have a lot of other things in our products that we've done to add uniqueness, but these were our two main things.
Yes.
So a lot of research. I think we spent the first 6 months, when you're talking about the journey, just researching fabric and just researching artists to build our community and get the designs forward.
And that does it does go to a point where when you start realizing that anything made, created with a lot of introspection, a lot of time, a lot of research, and putting yourself inside the client's shoes, it always brings out a beautiful product. It always brings out a product and a brand which is, what do we mean by sustainable, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about the product, it's also about the brand. Right?
Yeah.
How sustainable are you as a brand? And I feel like since you have done that kind of a thing, it goes to show how much effort you've actually put before even starting the brand. So tell us about the designs as well, because I know that you guys are so excited about that unique point being the fun design. So please do tell us about the designs.
So the way that we went about the design is we're not, it's not pick and choose and put it on a bed sheet.
Yeah.
That's not what we've done. So we have actually, we have brand managers who we've collaborated with. We've come up with 4 different types of collections.
Yeah.
So we have like one collection which is called Utopia, another collection which is more playful, which is called Dots. And then we have something so one of the things about Kyoona is to take art off your wall and onto your bed.
Yeah.
Because your bed is the biggest canvas that you have.
Yes.
And we don't think about it.
I know.
When it comes to decor, we only think about, okay, we're going to put this plain and then how do we make the room pretty?
I know.
So we want to say that it's your largest canvas.
Yeah.
Use it.
Yes.
Use it. Put an art piece on there.
Yes, that's fantastic.
So that's the thing. Taking art off your walls and onto your bed.
That's like a fantastic tagline.
So we don't officially use it, but that's what the ethos is.
It's fantastic to have that kind of tagline. I resonate so much with this. In fact, I've had multiple conversations, like on a personal bit, like with my husband. Like he would always, every time he would choose, like bed sheets or like decor and everything, because he likes minimalism, and he's always going to be like white. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you can use white for some time.
Yeah.
You need some character.
Yeah.
Some fun.
Yeah.
You're going to be spending so much time on that bed. It's going to be the central piece of your bedroom.
Yeah.
So I completely resonate with what you said.
So our third collection is actually just called Surreal.
Yeah.
Because it's literally about the art.
Yeah.
And then we of course have a kids range because they're the most beautiful. So those are our 4 collections. And then we went around, we did our research with them, where we've curated artists whose works fit into our collections.
Yeah.
Then given them the brief and went back and forth with them for over 3-4 months, I think.
Yeah.
And letting them hone the design. And we were with them, giving them feedback every step of the way. And that's why if you see, we have a range of stuff. So that's why curation matters.
Yes.
Because we have something which is really muted, really subtle for people like your husband.
Yeah.
And then we have something that's really playful, really colorful for people like you.
Yeah.
So there's a range of products. And that's what we are hoping, that everyone finds something at Kyoona.
Yeah.
And we also think your space, like your living space, tells a story about you.
Yes.
So your bed definitely should tell a story about you.
It should. I do agree. While you guys were talking, I kind of realized that when any brand, any company, right? Again, I would love to know your opinion on this. We have all these very strong, yang energy, and like with male-dominated businesses, right? And they're always thinking about sales and numbers and sustainability and like very, very, very masculine dominated. And there is this thing now with the rise of like female entrepreneurs and female creative artists and so much of that yin energy that's really, really
Yeah.
And it goes to show that, thinking beyond and thinking from a very strong creative space that comes from within, which is so natural for women, can actually take something from level A to level Z.
Yeah.
So, I just feel like, because I'm very, very sure that somebody from a very, target-oriented perspective would never go and think about putting art on a bed. But, here we are,
Yeah.
and we're doing this fantastic thing because it is needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have that kind of vision, you have that kind of, inspiration. I would like to call divine inspiration. Because if you only come from within, but you have to actually burst that creativity. You mentioned COVID as well, right?
Yeah.
So we've kind of realized that through COVID, so much of creativity has come because you've got to spend time with yourself,
Yeah.
right? And it's lovely to have to see that, what comes out of that creativity.
Now that you mention it, like we were just, I was listening to this one conference, and the CEO, like global CEO and global CMO, global CCO, sorry, of Ogilvy are both women now. Okay, and it's a great thing.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how they work together and about the partnership that they have built over the years and everything.
Yes.
And one thing that really stuck with me, and what I saw on chats also coming from like a lot of students, was thank you for normalizing showing emotions in the workplace.
Yes, fantastic.
And I think that's what, like, when you're saying, I think that's what women sort of bring to the place also, it just, which then I think helps fuel creativity in a way.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And I actually usually get that a lot with, because we do have, partners, we have families, right? Like I also come from a very strong business line, right? And we will always hear this thing wherein the reason why a lot of women cannot probably succeed at a higher stage or a higher level of a company or brand, etc., right? Is because women will always bring in their emotions. And it's always looked at it in a form wherein, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But you know what? You've never really tried the opposite.
Yeah.
So when you do give people a chance and the opposite is used, there is so much more, I feel like refinement in your work levels, productivity, even as a team.
For sure.
In the product matter.
Communication is so much better.
Yes. So thank you for bringing that up. Actually,
Yeah, we look at it as strength, to be honest.
Yes.
I don't think either of us are very scared to show our emotions in office, especially like to each other and to our employees. We're very open, and that's why we also have an open door cabin. If you like, when you walk through, you saw we don't close our cabin. We all four work. We have other businesses as well who work out of this office. So all of us work out of the same space.
Yeah. So there's no cabins,
There's no cabins,
doors.
there's no doors.
Yeah.
It's an open flow conversation. Our colleagues can just come in and have a conversation with us.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So we just want that to happen, because I think that just allows there to be so much positivity in the
And a lot of our
office.
calls also happen together.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not on her call, I'm doing my thing.
Yes.
But I know what's happening because I'm still doing something that's important, equally important, and I don't have to be on that.
Yes.
But it's not like we are plugged off.
Yeah.
So that's the idea of how we've improved our productivity by not being there, like splitting that into 2 hours and doing it in one. But I mean, women can multitask.
Yeah, or working in silos.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that we've never done. We don't work in silos because we just feel like, who knows where the creative, like where an idea will come from, like who knows?
Yeah.
It may not be something that I'm looking at on a day-to-day basis, or she's looking at a day-to-day basis, but because I know it's something she's facing or she knows that I'm facing, she just may have an idea. And that's happened to us quite a lot of times where, we just sort of help solve each other's problems.
Yeah.
So here's to breaking stereotypes.
Yes.
And I feel like, with more time to come, with every single thing that we're seeing at the moment, and there is a very, very strong intuition as well as like a prediction, wherein I do feel like, the more creative powerhouse women enter an industry which is so male dominated, right? Even if you go to see like the home decor, the home linen industry, very, very strongly dominated by the, patriarchy, right?
Yeah.
But when you have this fresh color, when you have this fresh energy, moving ahead in the times to come, it's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So here's to changing, the stereotypes. Here's to emotion being a center point of creativity.
And a strength, not a weakness.
Yes, as a strength in all our workhouses, all our performances also.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's fantastic to keep as a foundation for us, and then we build over that.
Agreed.
Right?
Yeah.
Design for you both has always been, like crux, right? Along with business, retail, everything, right? So what's your personal definition of, art, creativity, design? How do you define it, or, anything that kind of puts you in that space?
I think design solves problems. Like at the very, very core of it, design is what solves your problems. It's not how you make something look pretty or how you make something, you just change the color or how your logo looks. It's none of that. It's what helps solve problems. That's all. Like that for me, and that's how I view it. I view design as that. Adding color to something is bringing joy. That's solving a problem of someone feeling sad. So it's always about problem solving.
Yes, no, I do agree with that. I also feel like what you just said with problem solving, and also as therapy, I would love to know, your perspective, and then I would kind of elaborate on why it's such a big therapy.
Yeah. For me, I mean, I don't think I specifically think of design, but it's just about how your surroundings all come together on its own. It doesn't need to be. That's why now coming back to the product, it's very simple in terms of design, where but nobody does it, which is to have your blanket going with your bed sheet. Generally, Indian homes you'll see are mismatched. It's just bed sheets are bought wherever, whenever, and the blankets are bought once in 5 years, and that's just there. But it's so simple because that breaks your whole room completely. Because most Indian homes have the blankets on the thing, but just not laid out as how you would see. That's why people like going to hotels and stuff, because it's not laid out the way they do. So design is just about putting simple things together that they all talk to each other. That's all. It can be simple for somebody who likes something intricate, minimal, that, or somebody who likes to mix a lot of design together works for them. So it's just the right things being put together can form great design. That's all.
Fantastic. It also gives you a very, when all this falls into place, it also gives you a very comfortable environment to stay in, thrive in, which is what I was telling you as far as therapy is concerned. We're always looking for external sources, but in a time like today, we're living in this time, and our entire world happens in this much area. It's all in the eyes, the ears, it's all here because we're on our phone, we're in front of the laptop, we're constantly doing this. So how can we not focus on aesthetics? How can we not focus on something in our internal environment, wherein, this is what we're living in, and it has to please us. It has to make us feel nice, right? Well-being starts from making ourselves feel nice. What are your favorite designs? What is your favorite design? What's your favorite design from your collections?
So mine's Golconda Memories by Lokesh, especially in the green color. I think, that green's just absolutely stunning. So,
I agree with that. That's like a team favorite. And for me, my personal choice, and very different from what I am, is the Basharat. It's from the serial Basharat by Sajid Wajid Sheikh. It's not something everybody would like.
Quite surprised that you chose that. Like knowing her.
It's because I'm generally not minimalist, but not too loud either. So that design in some sense speaks because of all its elements in different sizes and forms. It speaks something in all colors. And if you'd ask me a color, I wouldn't be able to choose. I've chosen a color for my own home out of the environment that it is in, and hence the colors chosen. But he's done something with colors that we wouldn't think of seeing in any other brand. And
I think even with the design, I think his piece is one of our most favorites to illustrate what we mean about taking art off your wall. Because, funnily enough, we were just, one day we got the printed samples and everything, and I'm telling her, can you please remove the cushion that has the chest piece? And she's no, I told her, can you remove the cushion which has the dogs? Okay, the dogs sitting. And she's like, what dog sitting? And we're just, and I'm like, Ari, the one the dogs are sitting and the backs are faced towards us, they're just looking. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about, okay? So then I had to go and show it to her on the file, I'm talking about this. She's like, they're chess pieces. And I'm like, no, see? And then I had to, I drew an outline. And she's like, oh. And then we were like, oh my God, okay. So our, even just between the two of us, our interpretation of that design was entirely different, and that's exactly what we want.
Yeah,
We want
that's how art is viewed.
yeah, and it's your own perspective, and that's how we want our bed sheets to be. We want, okay, there's a story that we say about it, there's a story the artist says about it, but what's your story with it?
Fantastic. That is lovely. I love that aspect. Everything is just like so personal.
Yeah.
It's what we're moving towards. It's the personalization.
Yes.
Oh, we should.
Yeah.
And I love how you guys are kind of impersonating all that in the brand as well.
So we actually went a step further in terms of just thinking about, like, because we're an e-commerce brand, but we wanted to have some sort of an experience we wanted to create for the customer when they receive a Kyoona package. So what we thought was that one of the best ways to create an experience is to sort of talk to all the five senses. And so it's a surprise for our customers when they receive a Kyoona package, but we're talking to all the five senses.
Fantastic.
So there's something for the eyes, there's something for the smell, there's something for the sound, there's something for taste, and there's definitely something for touch.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I feel like that is amazing. I'm going to be the first customer for that.
Okay.
Because I love the description already.
Yes.
That's
So, I mean, we've tried to get the retail. I mean, people don't like to shop online because they can't touch and feel and see and that experience. So, we've tried to bring it into their homes with a very small idea of ours, and hopefully when they receive it, it's as exciting as entering a retail store for them.
Wow, that's nice. It's very in line with what I was actually going to ask you next. I mean, you kind of hit it on the nail. What's next? Like, what's the show when you started, right? There was this thing where we want to do this, but then like what's the next elevation? Of course, the five senses, and how do you look at yourself, in the more nascent years to come?
In terms of product lines, what we are next planning to do is launch table linen, which would include runners, again with a design sense in mind, of course.
Of course, everything is going to be designed.
Yes. So there's table linen runners, mats, napkins. Again, bringing a little bit of functionality, because I'm not saying, I mean, it's just that Indians haven't used it as much. Whether a table napkin is not really seen in everyone's home. A lot of reasons, which we'll get to when we finally launch it and when we address those.
Yes.
So, that's one that's on our list first. After that, we want to go into bath linen, and then probably into upholstery as well. That's the big.
Yeah, that's from a product perspective, but from the other perspective, we do want to. I mean, there'll of course be a new collection for the bed linen itself. A year down the line or so, but we do want to start going global in 6 months' time. And we're not planning to just flood the market or whatever. We believe in lean practices because that's towards our sustainability as well. So we want to start, maybe with UAE, Singapore, Malaysia, then do Europe, and then eventually look at the wider audience.
While she said sustainability, what I thought of was, you notice our website or our language on social media never speaks about sustainability, or that we don't talk about it as much, even though we do a bit, because we also feel it doesn't need to be said anymore.
Yes.
I mean, anymore or anytime.
Yes.
It's almost basic
responsibility
that you should be sustainable. How else do you decide to do things anyways? Even whether it's your personal lives, your homes, you don't go around wasting things. So the same thing comes into our business, and hence we don't talk about it, whether it is what packaging we are using, plastics, not using plastics, or whether it is designing our layouts in such a way that we waste fabric minimally, almost nil.
So whatever we do have, in cutting and all, we've actually saved everything because we do want to repurpose
all of it.
Yeah, we want to repurpose all of it. So we plan to upcycle everything that, even that little bit of fabric that gets wasted in cutting is definitely going to be upcycled.
Yes, that's what also emotions give you, right?
Yeah.
To be able to have that empathy, to be mindful, and to actually think beyond the self also. So I feel like that is a great, and yes, you are right. I do feel like, and thank you for addressing it. I do feel like it's no more an option. Yeah, it is the need of the hour, and moving ahead, I think the more everyone understands this and just adapts it slowly without making a show of it,
Yes.
the more it's going to benefit all of us, right?
Yeah.
So that was amazing. Thank you so much. And I want to know this thing because I'm sure there are a lot of people who kind of, look up to people who can end up doing something. There are so many young girls, boys, everybody wanting to start something from their passion. You both started something from your passion, your association together, right? So any message that you both individually would like to give to people who want to do something of their own?
For me, I would say if you don't the most basic thing that everybody will say, everyone, is just start. But for me, more than that, is just start research.
Yeah.
At least start reading up on it, start talking to people about it, and the next will flow in. Maybe not what you thought of is what you start with, because you're researching and talking to people, it might be something else that finally connects you to your final goal, which even you at this point don't know. But just start talking about it, start researching, start reading, start talking to everybody you can about it.
Fantastic.
So yeah, that's all, and that's the smallest start and the quickest start that you can do to where you want to be.
Yes. I think for me, and this is something we recently actually spoke about in office, we had like a team dinner, and my dad actually said it. He's like, don't be afraid to make mistakes, because that's the only way you will learn.
Yes.
If you are a know-it-all already, then you don't have the hunger anymore.
True.
So if you don't have the hunger, then what are you looking for? Then you're satisfied in life, and then there's nothing else for you to look forward to.
Yes.
So make mistakes, learn from those mistakes,
Yes.
and the hunger will follow, and the money will follow, and everything else will follow.
Yes, 1000%. And I also feel like, combining both the things that you said together, right? Like the research perspective and just starting from the research and the ability to let go and just make mistakes and really kind of let it be a setback. I also think that it increases your inner wisdom.
Yeah.
How do you think inner wisdom grows? It's not through reading a couple of books over the
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Personal research, trial and development.
Yes.
Going through a lot of mistakes, falling down repeatedly, picking yourself up and then still going ahead and doing that. The fun of that and the fruits of that are just beyond anything
for
you
sure.
experience.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I feel like bang on. That's amazing advice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Nupur and Minal, it's been fantastic to have you guys. I've personally learned so many things from you both, right? Like from a photo female entrepreneur. I feel like it's just so nice to be able to understand, where you both come from, how you've taken a product, infused not only design, but I also feel like you infused, the culture that you come from, you infused your passion, and you also infused the fact that, two women who are associated together, who are related to each other, can make things happen, right? And it's just breaking stereotypes one after the other, and I love that. So Kyoona is not just a brand that gives you fantastic, luxurious home decor, but it also gives you something where it gives you the hope to break stereotypes.
Yes.
It gives you the hope to bring in something new. It brings that fresh flavor inside, which God knows and everybody knows we need and will need for the rest of a very long time. So thank you. This was amazing.
So much.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful chatting with you.
Wonderful chatting with you. We're very honored. So thank you for having us.
Yes. And this was fun.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah.
I hope it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
Definitely was.